Hey, brokers are better. We are here live with our friend and partner, Andrew Pawlak. He is a active member of the group, so you've probably seen him around, but he has been an entrepreneur in the mortgage industry for 16 years. He's the founder and CEO of leadPops, which is a brokers are better network partner. And Andrew, you've worked with Zillow, Bankrate to optimize their landing pages for lead generation. I think the biggest misconception about leadPops is that you are a lead generator. You're not. You actually build websites that are exceptionally good at collecting content or contact information from website visitors and using surveys and attractive messaging and really narrowing how to get millennials to talk about themselves and eventually give up their emails. um, so you dive into ways brokers and LOs can get leads in your book, The Mortgage Marketing Manifesto, Unlocking the Holy Grail of Mortgage Lead Generation. And so we're going to answer some questions that come through the comments as they come through. And I've put together some to start us off. So you talk a lot about branding you. And one of the things that I've seen that's really inconsistent across mortgage professionals that I email is email signatures, something super simple. A lot of times it's simply a name, a title, and an MLS number. But you talk about how that's not necessarily the best way to optimize getting leads from your email. Can you talk about a little bit what's the best way to do that?
Sure. So, I mean, that's an easy one in a way. It's kind of like low-hanging fruit. It's housekeeping. It's like little things you can do. All these little things start to add up to have an impact. Whether maybe you get one loan out of it over the next year, it's such an easy fix. It takes 5 minutes to do it. And just think about the amount of exposure emails that you're sending out every single day are getting, not just from family members and other business partners and just there's a lot of exposure to them. So it's just a good opportunity to include what I always recommend on pretty much any marketing. It's a call to action, giving somebody something to do or a purpose and a reason to take an action. And that's not just apply now, but using something like see how much home you qualify for or find out how much home you can afford, and including a link that's going to take somebody to a lead generator. So a landing page, something that's going to capture information. At leadPops, we build lead funnels. That's what I recommend driving traffic to always, from your website, from your email marketing, from your blog posts. Same kind of thing with your email signature. Just find something good that's compelling that is going to drive somebody to click, and then that destination that you take them to, that's a really important part of it, is making sure that it's set up in a way that's not going to scare people off. It doesn't feel like a loan application. It's not just give me your contact information. If you're communicating directly with somebody, they're already a lead for you. You're not really needing to get them to go and submit more information in most cases. But again, it's just about the fact that your email gets sent around. Realtors are forwarding it out. People that you're not working with potentially are seeing it. And it's just a good opportunity to, again, include a good call to action and a link to something that's not just apply now and a loan app, because most people aren't ready for that. Your website traffic, for the most part, unless it's people you're already working with, and sending there to do the loan application, they're not ready for it. So the same kind of logic applies to really any marketing that you're putting out there when you're trying to get new clients. Give them a good reason. Don't make it just apply for a mortgage. Find out how much home you can afford. See how much money you can save every month. Find out if you're eligible for a VA loan. These kinds of things are not, they're not scary for people. It sounds like they can accomplish something without having to do a loan application. And then again, just driving them to a lead form. If leadPops is doing it for you, great. We've already got these kind of ready-made, but any kind of survey or questionnaire that's not just give me your name, email, phone number, tell me where you live, create an account, that stuff is all friction. So if we can instead ask, hey, well, what kind of house is it? Okay. What kind of down payment are you looking for? What's your monthly payment goal? And you ask some easy questions. You get people to kind of get involved with the process before you ask them for stuff they don't want to give you. In most cases, name, email, phone number is something we kind of have to earn from people. So there's just kind of a way to ask for that information that's not just right up front, give me all your contact info. So layering that into your email signature, pretty easy. You just go into the signature settings, include a good call to action and a link that's going to take them, if you're a leadPops client, lead funnel. If you're not, set up some sort of a survey questionnaire that's not going to go just for give me all your contact information or
not
present
your
itself as a loan app.
not the website homepage. You're saying they need to go somewhere else.
Website, hey, that's better than nothing. I mean, ideally, you take them to a destination that's specifically tied into what that call to action is. A website homepage has all kinds of stuff on it. You know, if there's a singular purpose, if my call to action is about, let's just say, get a free rate quote, you want to take them to a landing page or a lead funnel that's specifically geared towards get a free rate quote.
Right.
You know, for some people, getting this granular is a little bit more work and it's more time consuming. I get it. So plan B is, hey, if you just want to be really quick and easy, go to my site and include at least a link to your website. So you could go both ways. Ideally, though, the more landing pages you have, the better, and the more specific your landing page is, and the more the correlation ties into your call to action, the better it is. Your website's got all types of stuff. I don't want them to spend time reading your About Me section or clicking around playing with calculators and things like that if I could have just gotten them directly into the questionnaire and gotten them to answer some questions.
Super important to know. All right, so let's talk a little bit about that branding. I mean, that going right from your email signature is how you're branding yourself, putting your face in your email on a thumbnail photo. Hopefully anyone that was at AIME Activate went and got a headshot. But how do you feel about DBAs? We have some really great AIME members that do amazing things with a doing business as brand. And how do you feel about that being forward facing? Why is that really important? You talk about that a little bit in your book. Can you dive in there?
Yeah, I like the idea of branding your own entity in a way. If it's something that you own, the logo is yours. You're not just loan officer at company and leading with that company's name and logo like the primary focus of your marketing and your branding. You know, companies change quite often. And if you're just leading everything with the branding of the company and the company's name and their email address and their logo on everything, you kind of get lost, you know. And if you change companies, people are still thinking more so about the company than you. If we can make them think about you first and foremost, your name, you are the loan officer, you are the mortgage advisor, you are the expert. And then on top of that, you've got your own branding that ties into it, where maybe it's powered by company, smaller underneath it, but your logo is yours more prominently. It's your colors. It's something you can market and people recognize. And if you do switch companies, you take that with you, and the little powered by underneath the logo just changes to that new company, you know? So I think that is definitely the way to go if you're a loan officer. You know, some companies don't like that. I would be selective with what company I go with based on that that being something that they allow me to do. So that is my opinion on that.
And I mean, even if they don't, we've seen some really good people include it in just their personal, you know, we have the British mortgage broker. We have some really great people out there who are doing amazing things with their brands. And that's just goes back to branding you, the loan officer, you, the mortgage broker. So I really, I like that approach to it for sure. So talk a little bit, that leads us into Facebook profiles versus Facebook pages, and just looking at the member, you know, the Brokers Are Better group has close to 5,000 members, and we have a handful of pages, about 400 of the, you know, which is a small percentage. And then everyone else is a profile. That might be because that's what you use day to day. But why is it, can you explain why it's so important to establish a page versus you do all your business on your Facebook profile?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's kind of I think, not confusion, but some people don't understand that you can still post a little bit of that personal touch. And maybe every now and then it is something like a picture of you going out with the kids for ice cream or something. Like the kids at the office today brought my baby girl to work, you know, whatever. She's sitting at the desk and she's got glasses on and it looks like she's processing loan applications or something cute and funny like that. That adds a lot of I think, depth kind of to the page of it being more personal and something people can really relate to or appreciate a little bit more than just like mortgage rates and mortgage industry like posts and articles and things like that. But ideally, you're running this stuff from your business page because there's no there's no ability to really track the analytics. There's limits on the amount of followers or friends you can have on your personal. The ability to run ads or boost doesn't exist from your personal page. So all these abilities that are added functionality that you get from your business page make it really where you want to put your emphasis from a business standpoint, is building that business page. But again, not leaving behind some of the personal stuff that I think definitely adds a lot more to those pages. It's funny because I post stuff all the time, even just from a personal standpoint. The stuff that gets the most traction typically are the more personal things versus like my content on conversion rate optimization and things like that. People seem to like it, but when it's like something a little bit more personal, it's like so much more engagement on that stuff. So don't remove that, or don't mistake the fact that you are focusing on posting from your personal or from your business page to mean you can't ever add the personal stuff. Even like 80-20 or 70-30, mix of something more personal or something that people will appreciate, that's not just like mortgage content.
That's awesome insight. Thank you. So that leads us into a place for reviews. You can't get reviews on a personal Facebook page. You can only get it on a business page. So where are the best place to get reviews? How do you leverage them on your website? I mean, you're coming from a place of authority because you build websites, you put places for reviews on leadPops websites. And you also talk a little bit about places you shouldn't leave reviews, what websites you shouldn't use in your book. So can you just give a little insight there?
Yeah. I wrote the book in 2016, and my opinion hasn't changed on anything that's feeding Zillow. I feel like I get this like picture in my head of there's like a monster chained up in the corner, and mortgage people are every day just like feeding that monster gruel. And there's like a shovel, and they're just feeding it. And one day that thing is just going to snap the chain off and try to eat everybody. And that's already starting to happen. So I feel like any content that we can not provide to Zillow, is ideal. I know there's consumers are there, and there's that train of thought, well, people are there, so it's good to have a presence. It makes it a little bit difficult because you can't argue with that. But if I'm going to be stockpiling reviews and putting my focus and effort into getting reviews, usually in most cases you get one shot at a review from a customer. Not very many customers are just jumping from review site to review site on your behalf to like post them all over the place. If I'm going to put them somewhere, it's going to be Google 100%. Like I would definitely put my focus on Google, followed by Facebook. So those two locations, 100%. leadPops, we have over 200 5-star reviews. 5.0 rating. Sorry, got to throw out a little shout out for us on that, but they're all pretty much on Google, and I may transition our effort a little bit more into Facebook just to kind of get a little bit more there. But we've got like 30 or so on Facebook, 200 on Google, and we're not even messing with anything really else. I don't like any of the really like niche apps that are out there. Personally, I don't feel like that's anywhere to be stockpiling reviews because consumers don't know them. No matter how much the industry might be familiar with some of these things, consumers don't. I feel like the main places consumers really know are Google, Facebook, and Yelp. But then I don't like Yelp for the same reasons really as Zillow in a lot of ways, just because it's like a pay to play type thing. I hear so many weird stories about like their sales tactics, and just you click on a Yelp page and it is just, I mean, I can hardly find you on your own page because your competitors are everywhere on there. So I don't really want people Googling you and looking you up, and Yelp to be a more powerful website that is placing. I'd prefer Yelp is actually further down the list, and more of your own stuff that you control is taking up more of those top spots. And the more we feed Yelp, the more powerful it becomes for your own branded keywords. And that's good for them because obviously then they get more traffic to their site, which doesn't always end up going to you because that page is just covered with your competitors. So Google for the search engine factor, for the credibility and trust and authority factor, a lot of good stuff there. And then of course, with leadPops, we have different review widgets and different plugins that we can add that'll like feed reviews onto your site consistently. Just keep putting them on there as they come in, and you can kind of filter the 4 and 5 star reviews and things like that. So those are the ones that get showcased.
Right. Awesome. And you had mentioned, throwing a fact out there, 90% of customers read online reviews before visiting a business. 88% of them trust online reviews as a personal recommendation, which is a crazy and powerful statistic. So it just goes to show that we really are tuned into what is going on and being said online. We got one comment from a post yesterday in the Brokers Are Better group promoting this Facebook Live, and they want to know a little bit. Arturo Veramontes wants to know a little bit about Facebook ads and the changes they made in December 2019. If he wants to target teachers and educators, how is that the change causing pushback on ads for the financial sector?
Yeah, okay, so Facebook is changing things all the time. It's just part of the Facebook marketing world. They love to throw curveballs at us Facebook marketing people. But, recently they've removed a lot of filters and targeting options, so it makes it a lot more difficult to really dial in and target a specific audience on Facebook. It really is. Your ads are showing to pretty much everybody in a specific geographic area that you're targeting. And even with your geographic abilities, with the fair housing and fair lending laws and things like that, you can't even dial in on specific areas as much just because it's not allowed. So, with specific targeting for groups, I think I saw, was it like teachers or something along those lines was one of the
that was the question. I think this could be applied to any group.
Anything like that, right? Is you just can't really segment and go after those people. So your ad copy, if your ad copy and your image and what you're saying in the ad is attracting those people and it stands out to them, I think if the ad is very specific, the people that it doesn't apply to aren't going to click on it. If it's very clearly saying, hey, loan programs and products for teachers or for heroes or something like that, you're still showing it to pretty much everybody because you can't get as targeted as you used to, but the ad copy and the imagery itself should call and pull in and attract that specific audience. You can't just not show it to the people you don't want to show it to, just because that's not possible these days. But again, the effectiveness of the ad copy should be able to draw in the right people. So if you're seeing that it's clearly loan products and programs for teachers, I don't know why, unless people are just bored and curious, or your competitors, that's the problem these days, is a lot of people that you used to be able to not show it to, like your competition, they're going to see it and they're going to click and they're going to end up costing you money. But you can't really do anything about that. And the playing field is level. So it's not like it's just affecting you. Everybody's having to deal with that these days. So you're seeing a lot more ads because people aren't able to target like they used to. Now, as far as other places that you can market that still have a lot of those same kinds of filters and controls, Google Display Network, YouTube, they've got a marketer's dream come true in there in terms of intent, what people are searching for, what Google knows about them. All that kind of stuff lives inside of Google, but it's been stripped out of Facebook. If you can upload a custom list, if you have a large list of the target type of audience that you want to go after, creating those custom audiences is an option. If you can create a lead magnet or something that's like, hey, here's our ebook on loans for teachers and all the things you need to know if you're a teacher and you're looking to buy a house or something like that, you can get a lot of people to at least click on your page, give them something like an ebook with a downloadable, a downloadable guide or something like that. And now you can target those people that have either clicked on or downloaded the guide, which can help create even more of a customized audience. So there's different things you can do outside of Facebook, especially. But, within Facebook, there are some limitations. So you have to be creative and you have to make sure your ad copy is very specific to that audience that you're trying to target.
Awesome. I think that's a lot of insight, and I hope that's helpful to more than just the one person that made the comment. We're about to wrap up. There's a few questions in the comments. I think we can go back in and type up some answers there later on. And we're going to be doing this every day for the rest of this week and next. I think we have people scheduled throughout. So we're excited to kick this off in the group from AIME, trying to reach our members. We're going to be talking about what's going on right now in the rate environment. Things are getting crazy. We are definitely prepared to bring you some answers and help you work with customers and get you exactly the messaging you need to deliver reasonable responses to customers that want to know what's going on out there. Andrew, thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
we'll
you,
be
Kara.
back tomorrow, same time, same place, everyone.
Cool. Thank you, Kara.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.